Alright, we're going to be working on a 2004 Toyota Camry. We're going to be replacing the brakes. For safety, you always want to have the tire right underneath the car just in case that it falls. You won't lose a leg or something like that. I have my niece with me. She's going to be assisting me with the camera. So what you're going to need is basically just a socket with a 9/16 socket wrench. And this is basically the brake caliper. There's two bolts, one up top, one up at the bottom. And you only need to loosen the one at the bottom. That's what we're going to do now. Okay, and once you get it loose, you can just take it out by hand. And this caliper comes right up. And you remove the old brake pads. It's a Toyota, so it's fairly easy to work on. So you can see there's really no brakes left, obviously. Same thing here. There's two clips here. You can take them off, but you can just also leave them in. This caliper is kind of a pain, so if you have a zip tie, you can zip tie it to this hose or to wherever. Also, you have the brake caliper piston, which you will be needing a C-clamp to push it back in. Trust me, I'm strong, but I don't think any of us are strong enough to push it in by hand. So you can get this at the parts store for under 10 bucks. Alright, so once you have your brakes, your new brakes, as you can see how meaty they are right here, this part's supposed to wear down. These already come with metal clips in the back, so you don't have to worry about taking them out of the old ones. And you can see it kind of has a little bit of a curve right here, so that's the part that'll go on the outside. And basically just jiggle it in there as best as you can. It's not that hard. It's a little tricky, but it's not tough. Like so. And I mean, if you ever played with Legos or anything like that, you should be able to do this. Anybody can do this. Kids. I wouldn't recommend kids doing it, but alright, so that's that. Now we got to push the piston back in. Okay, so that's all the way back in. And keep in mind, this is my first time doing this job. I didn't know how to do it, but I basically figured it out on the other side, and then now I'm doing a tutorial to help anybody that basically wants to save some money. Little thing here that I found out is that we've got the piston pushed back in all the way, but still you can't close it because, as you can see, the brake and the caliper housing kind of collide. So at first I was just trying to push it in this way. I mean, you probably can still, yeah, you can actually do it that way. Just maneuver it, pull it towards you, and now you see that it closes. Well, actually, now I pulled it too much, so I got to push it a little bit now. Back. Okay, that's not good. Okay, so I just kind of forced it in there, and that was a mistake, so I have to kind of put the metal clip on the back on there. Should be okay now. Take your screw it back in by hand. Get your socket, switch it back to tightening, and just basically tighten it by hand. You don't want to force it too much. You don't want to over tighten it, because that's not good either. And we're pretty much in business. Take your tire, and just put it back on. Now when putting the tire back on, you never want to tighten just one screw first. You want to put one screw in there and skip one. Tighten that by hand. Skip the next one. Tighten it by hand, basically like a star pattern. Keep in mind, I'm not an expert. I'm just figuring this stuff out. It's not that hard, so if I can do it, anybody can do it. Okay, with the tire still up, or still on the jack, I want to kind of tighten them a little bit. And again, you do one, skip, do the next one, skip. These are different size. And we're not tightening them all the way yet because the car is still on the jack stand. Skip. But you do want to tighten it enough to where when you put the car back down, it's not gonna, the wheel won't wobble. And that's how you change the brakes on a 2004 Toyota Camry.